Welcome to episode 13 of Reverse the Relapse. Today, we are talking about why you don't have control over your eating. You're in the right place if you're ready to stop the sabotage and weight regain post-weight loss surgery and start losing again. Hi, I'm Georgie Beames. I'm a psychologist who specializes in the area of emotional eating, sabotage, and weight regain for weight loss surgery patients. I work both in a weight loss surgery clinic as well as supporting women online to reverse the relapse. I honestly believe that psychology should be a mandatory part of everyone's weight loss surgery journey. Your body has had an upgrade to version 2.0 after surgery, but your mind has been operating at version 1.0. You're here to update your mind to match your body and get back on your weight loss path, and I'm here to help you. So I hear this all the time from the clients that I work with, and they say things like, I'm 40 or I'm 50 or I'm 60 or whatever it is for them. Why is this still an issue? Why do I not have control over my eating and my weight? I have control over all of these other areas of my life. And then I find clients go into this unhelpful thinking, which is reflecting on their life, and they're saying, I haven't had this and that happen to me, and other people are so much worse off than me. Gee, I shouldn't really complain. Gosh, this is a first world problem. Why can't I sort it out? Now, what happens here is we get into this comparison trap, and then we start with all these shoulds. So I should have more control, and I should be able to fix this myself, and I should be able to eat like a quote unquote normal person. And then we start to rationalize it. So I can do X, Y, Z. So I can do X, Y, Z at work, or I can do X, Y, Z at home, or, in the family, or with other people, or charities, or volunteering, or in my community. Why can't I do this one little bitty thing? Now, here's the thing, beating yourself up like this and comparing yourself will not make this better. It only makes it worse. And trust me, I have tried. Now, I know in your head, you want to be perfect in every area of your life. And I say this to clients and we joke around because I'm like, you're not perfect in every area. No one is. And they're like, but why not? Why is that not the goal? Why can't I be perfect in every area? Because perfection is just an illusion. It actually doesn't even exist. It's nothing more than a fantasy in your mind. You can't think your way out of this one. You can't control your way out of this one. Well, you could try, and I'm sure you have been trying for many, many years, but it will only end up with more weight gain in the end, right? Food and weight are only the symptoms. The more that you keep focusing on the symptoms, the more stuck and unchanged that you will stay. So here's the thing. You need to shift the question. So the current question that you have is, why can't I control this, right? Why can't I control this by now? Like I'm 43. Why can't I control this? Now, here's the question that I want you to ask yourself instead. What is the payoff or the benefit that I'm receiving from eating in this way, and the current payoff or benefit that I'm receiving by being this certain size? So here's the thing, every behavior, especially behavioral patterns, right? And this is why we're talking about behavioral patterns here, because our eating just isn't a one-off here and there. These are old eating habits that we're talking about, right? That have been in place for many years, if not decades. But these eating behaviors, they have a payoff or a benefit for you, or else you wouldn't be able to just stop it, right? It would be that easy. If there was no payoff, you could just stop it today, but we know that there's a little bit more to it. So let me give you a steer in the right direction, because if you're like most of the women that I work with in my one-on-one work, they will say, yeah, Georgie, good question, but there's no benefit to my eating. But I want you to consider how your eating keeps you safe. how your eating keeps you playing small. It keeps you hiding. It keeps you locked into your current circumstances. It gives you less choices in your mind, right? So that's the level that I really want you to delve into. And, the podcast is about us having these honest, authentic conversations about these deeper issues. Get specific. So what are your fears? And what's scary about you being the version 2 you? Remember, the version 2 you is the you. So you've had the surgery and you've got the version 2 body after all the significant weight loss and all the health benefits. And we need to update your mind to match your body. So the version 2 you is why you signed up for surgery, right? So what's scary and what are your fears around being the version 2 you and really stepping into your full potential? Again, if you say, Georgie, there's no fear, I would challenge you on this and I would say, well, if there's no fear, why aren't you there now? So here's where to go next. You've heard of the iceberg analogy, and I refer to it a lot in the work I do because it's a great way for me to describe how I work with women in this area. On the top of the iceberg is your conscious mind, which is only 10% of who we are. This is like your logical, analytical, doing, planning side, the to-do lists, etc. And then there's your subconscious mind, which is 90% of who we are, which is the parts of us that are otherwise hidden or submerged. So your eating sabotage happens at a subconscious level. The 90%, your eating sabotage doesn't happen at that conscious level. Now it's complex, and this is why there's a little bit more to it than that whole just eat less and exercise more, right? If only. So when you diet or you use meal plans, even weight loss surgery, are all strategies that work at the conscious level. It's the 10%ers. It doesn't address and will not address your eating sabotage. So when you ask the question, why can't I control this by now? Like I'm 43, why can't I control this by now? You're operating at that conscious level. You're using the wrong part of your mind. You're asking the wrong part of your mind. You're asking the wrong question. You'll just keep hitting a dead end. And if you stay with this thinking, it's just nothing more than a broken strategy. So often there's a disconnect between our conscious mind and our subconscious identity. So our conscious mind wants to change, right? That's that part of you that is probably even listening to this podcast now. It's a part of you that is using the meal plans, that signed up for weight loss surgery, that wants more control and wants to release the excess weight. But your subconscious identity often doesn't support this change. This is the part of you that is getting the benefit or the payoff from eating and keeping the weight on. And remember, this is the part of you that's 90% of who you are. And this part of you is powerful and it is in charge. Another way of looking at it is your thinking mind wants control, but you are doing the opposite. So here's your transformation takeaway. Ask yourself, who do I need to be to get more control around food and my weight? And what we're referring to is your subconscious identity. So what does the identity need to be of the version 2.0 you, the version of you that you want to be? So for instance, if your identity, which is many of the women that I see when I first start with my one-on-one coaching program, their current identity is being anxious, stressed and overwhelmed and busy and doing all the things and not prioritizing themselves, living their life in their head, perfectionistic tendencies, all or nothing thinking, feeling frustrated, stuck, feeling fat, feeling like a failure, right? Is this resonating with you? You can see that you can't get results that you want with this current identity, right? You can see that we have a disconnect. If those terms are resonating with you in terms of your current identity, you have a disconnect between your subconscious mind, your subconscious identity, and your conscious mind. You can see that, right? So your version 2 you Many clients say, I want to feel more free in myself. I want to feel calm, not only calm and relaxed around food. Now, that does not mean out of control, by the way. This just means having a quote unquote normal relationship with food. Calm and relaxed in myself, more self-compassion, more energy, etc. And I would actually recommend just thinking about your version 2 you, right? And bringing up an image in your mind of this version of you. So how does she look? What does she do? And I want you to write down and really sit with, what is her identity at that subconscious level? So is she perfectionistic? Does she have a fat identity? Does she have a failure identity? Is she living her life in her head? Is she anxious? Is she into all or nothing thinking, etc.? Or is she the free and the light and the calm and the relaxed and the compassionate and the balanced, etc.? So when you bring up this image of your version 2 you, what is her identity and what is she doing? What are the things that she does to further support that identity? So I hope this has been helpful. I can't wait to hear some of your insights. Thank you for being here. And of course, if you want help shifting your identity from version 1 to version 2, I invite you to apply to work with me in my one-on-one coaching program. So it's www.georgiebeames.com/workwithme. Thank you for being here, and I will see you over in the next episode. If you loved the content in this podcast, you have to come and check out my one-on-one coaching program. We work together for 3 months to get you back in control and change your relationship with food for good. Now, I only have limited places available every month. So go to my website and click Work With Me. That's www.georgiebeames.com. See you over there.